Shalom, family. So, pray everyone's doing well. And we're going to pick things up, of course, with our Faithful Friday Sabbath class, continuing our reading of the book of the Wisdom of Solomon and chapter 5 and verse 11. Okay. Last one we left off was verse 10, so we'll pick things up in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 11. So the book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 11. Or, as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and there and afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. So, understanding, dealing with the remembrance of the ungodly, and that this life is short. And so, just as when a bird flies through the air, there's no pattern of space left in the sky or in the air that can show or be seen that, hey, a bird flew through here. You see that space in the sky? That's happens. That's the trickle of when a bird went through the air. You don't see that. You're not seeing that. So it's the same thing in terms of remembrance of ungodly. Like, they're not going to be remembered. The Most High is not going to keep them within his mind or keep a memorial of them. That's it. So now reading on, verse 12. It says, or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air, which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Same with an arrow. You shoot an arrow, or nowadays more people shooting guns. You shoot a gun, you can't see where that bullet, where it went through and parted the air, and see a trace of it. You're not going to see that. You're not going to witness that. It said it's the same thing. Verse 13. Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end. Said the same thing with this life and how short it is. As soon as we were born, there like the saying goes, as surely as you live is just as surely as one day you will die. That's the pattern of things. That you come into this world, and just as sure as you came in, you're going to have to exit this world. Just as you live, you will die. So even so, in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. So, and this is the mind of the ungodly. Okay, and the realization that they're going to come to, and they're going to understand. So, 14, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passes away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. So all these things are ways to describe that when it comes down to those that are not moving in righteousness, those that are wicked, there's not going to be a strong sense of remembrance of them. They're going to be forgotten. They're not going to be in a space where they're going to have a long memorial, because there's nothing glorious about their position and what they're receiving. All it's going to be is like, damn, all the people that got destroyed over there. Well, now for us to have glory over here, like, they're not going to be meditated on upon that. They're going to be there for a sign and a wonder, but they're not going to be the focus. So, 15 says, but the righteous live forevermore. That's going to be the focus. The righteous, they're going to be the ones that are going to live forever. So even though, regardless of what it is they went through in this life, no matter how bitter or pleasant, man, that to receive that everlasting reward, nothing could compare. So the memorial of the righteous is going to be everlasting. Why? Because a big part of it is everything that you endured in the world of the living in order to make it to an everlasting living situation. You had to endure the struggle. You had to fight vice and temptation. You had to overcome all those things. In spite of what everyone else was doing and saying, I still had to do this. So you had to endure all of those things for years. Some short, some long, in order to make it to that everlasting place. It's not something God ain't just handing out freebies. It's not, nah, they earned this. They earned it. They fought for it. And you reap what you sow. So now, verse 15, but the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. So now, even though, yeah, you may struggle and go through various things in this world, that does not mean that there's an absence of care or love from the Most High God because of that. It's rather that is part of the package of care. It's because I care that you go through these things, because these things, even within this world, is both to test and strengthen you. So yeah, it's a test to prove if you're worthy of the blessings in the world to come, but it's also to help prove you and to strengthen you, to help you build your resilience, help you build your mental fortitude and your spiritual strength. It's there to help you and to help you grow, to be able to take on those greater tasks and those greater tribulations of things that not only you're being tried, but the things that are coming upon the earth. So in the judgments the Most High God is bringing upon the earth, through those things, you also, even if it's not directed at you, some of the things that are affecting the earth, you're still somewhat subject to some of those effects. And so it's understanding that the trial and the test of you being groomed and trained is to help you endure those things. Even something, just the mental side of it, really, and just being able to have strength through the Most High God. So now, verse 16, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. So that's a beautiful thing, to receive a glorious kingdom. Not something mediocre like, man, we worth it, this is it. But nah, something more beautiful than anything we can fathom, anything we probably seen. So just something of that beauty. And it said from the Lord's hand, at the Most High God, he's giving this. He's giving this to those that have proved themselves worthy. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. So, and that's one of those things that is both, and primarily now, but even up until that time, like the Most High God, he's the one protecting us. So when things happen to you, it's the things he allows to happen to you. So, and he allows those things to either test you and to prove, all right, I want to see how she handled this. I want to see how he deal with this situation, and I'm gonna see, and I'll decide what I'll do from there based upon how you deal with this. Or it's just situated like, hey, you got to go through this because this will help prepare you for what's going to happen 2 years from now. And you're going to need this experience to carry over into this situation. It's going to set you up for better success. So sometimes you have those things too. Now, verse 17, he shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. God has enemies. His enemies are the wicked, those that choose not to do right. Need it be regardless of what nation they do or don't belong to. It's his enemies, all those that are adverse to him, adverse to righteous rulership. Those are all his enemies. And so he's going to take the creature, he's going to take the righteous, so to be the one that he's going to use as part of his weapon of war. Meaning what? You're going to have a situation, like it says in, I believe, Luke 19:27. Christ said the same thing. Hey, those that won't worship me, hey, slay hither. Because it's going to be a time when the Most High God, like now he's calling for his shepherds, but he's going to call for his soldiers, his warriors, to man, like right now he's sending us out as sheep, but man, next he's going to send us out, in a different manner. And we thinking that all the judgment going to be at the Most High. Most High, nah, I'm also going to use my people as also my weapons of war. So the scriptures speak on that. Verse 18, he shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall take holiness for an invisible shield. So his severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. So the Most High, his whole armor is everything spiritual. He's not physically putting all these mantles and things on, but spiritually we're getting insight that this how the Most High is girding himself up. So when it says in the world shall fight with him against the unwise, what does that look like? Contextually speaking, the world that's being referenced is the world of Israel, his people. So that's the world that shall fight with him against the unwise. The unwise, not according to like, oh, they don't know nothing or they're not smart, but unwise meaning they're not moving according to the Most High God's wisdom, which is found through the application of his law, statutes, and commandments. So you're going to have it to where, as it will read, his severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and Israel shall fight with him against the wicked. So that's what it would more so read like contextually. Verse 21, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts. So the right aiming thunderbolts, meaning that, look, these thunderbolts, what we would call today lightning, them lightning strikes, are not going to be random. They're not going to be something, oh, it might hit over here, might hit over there. Ooh, that one's kind of close. No, it said the right aiming thunderbolt. There's an aim there. So you go abroad. And from the clouds, as they're going to be coming from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow shall they fly to the mark. They're not going to miss. The Most High God is going to make sure he sets up his bow and arrow, which, like you said, he's going to use them clouds and them lightning strikes, them thunderbolts. He's going to use them, man, even better. That's where they get some of them other so-called gods, Zeus and things of that nature, as Most High, throwing them down there, making them hit. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be, this is the Most High God. He does not have AKs and rocket launchers, RPGs and grenades and things. Nah, he got the elements. He said, I got you. I'm a pistol whip you right now. I got the light. Pew, pew. You're going to be striking. You're going to be up there having a field day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to just, it's going to be chaotic. You're going to be letting them fly. Boom, boom. You're going to be getting everybody. Because it's time for judgment. He's holding back. He's in a place where every day God is angry every day with the wicked. And he's just holding back like, man, y'all don't know. Ooh, man. Some of you be mad, you be holding back like God, like, ooh. Like, and it's not that he loves to destroy. That's not it. It's because those who are refusing to change, refusing to repent, and are openly, happily committing various sins against the Most High, that he's waiting to judge them. But now he's not just waiting to judge them, he's also waiting for the number of those that will repent to be fulfilled before he starts bringing judgment, lest they get caught up in it. He's trying to give everybody a chance to get right. Like, ooh, all right, y'all better repent, y'all better get, because I'm coming, and anybody who ain't right, you getting hit. You get, like, all the targets is marked. Like, how you know where all the targets at? Because I see your sin. Everyone that got sin and got dirt on their spirit, they getting it. They getting it. You got to be clean enough to where I say, okay, yeah, they good. They not getting it. But the rest of y'all getting it. Y'all getting hit. You don't want to get hit with them, because the Most High God, he got perfect. He ain't missing nothing. He ain't even got to see. He's like, I sense you over there. I smell you over there, and I hear you over there. You getting hit. So, like it said, then shall the right-aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, accuracy, shall they fly to the mark. They not going to miss. Everyone going to hit where it needs to hit. Ain't going to be no coinky-dink. Verse 22. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow. Why would it say like out of a stone bow? Because them hailstones, them meteorites crashing down, them asteroids and everything. Yeah, meteorites. Them is going to be hitting down, destroying. That's what the Most High God going to be using as well. It's going to be lighting people up. Them things will be coming down. You're going to hear them. Boosh, boosh. You'll hear them screeching across the sky. You seen, there's been some videos of them come down and like getting close and close. They shatter windows, and it's just them they ain't even hitting the window. It's just them coming near the stuff, and it's just breaking the sound barrier. Just things coming down mightily, and they gonna be hitting people. Most High, he gonna be slingshotting. Most High can multitask. He over here slingshotting with this hand and lightning with this hand and just having a field day. Having fun. Because it's like, man, I told you. So, reading on, verse 22, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them. Because here's the thing, some people think they can hide in the water. Oh, we good, we on a boat. I'm on a boat, we good. Come chill, come kick it. Most High said, no, the sea shall rage against them. You all of a sudden it's gonna be a tempest, like, dang, the waves, they getting rowdy right now. It's like, dang, I'm getting seasick. Nah, and it start getting worse. It start turning up some more. Most High start, let me keep moving. I'm gonna keep rocking it. It's gonna get increasing in its violence. You ain't getting away with nothing. It's gonna be a bad day to surf. So tell you that much. So and it said, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Most High God ain't playing. You seen some of them end of the world movies, 2012, like, man, them waves is coming. Like, nah, you thinking like, well, I know how to swim. Nah, you ain't gonna outswim this. Not the waves I got coming. It ain't gonna be them little things. I got some big ones coming, and then when it crash, oh, that pressure, it's gonna send you down deep. You ain't gonna be able to fight against them waves. He said, I ain't playing them games. You gonna be fighting, and it's gonna be pulling you further and further under. Because it's gonna crash. It's gonna build it up so high, it's gonna plunge, and that force pushing you down, it's gonna keep pushing. You trying to swim back up, and it's like you fighting against a consistent force where you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm talking? You be trying to move, like, it's like, dang, I'm trying to run, but somebody holding my shirt. I can't go nowhere. It's going to be like that in a way. You're going to be up there trying to swim, and them waves is pushing you. We're like, dang, I ain't going nowhere. It's like, if anything, I'm going further down, trying to get up. So he said, you ain't going to make it. Like, there's no way you can escape the wrath of a creator that made all these things. He said, nah, you ain't escaping me. I see you. And I'm going to make sure, I'm going to tell my, hey, hold them down there. for that, send a shark. He think he fat, want to be triathlon. Get a shark over there. Get him. You still, Most High, you ain't slick. He still got other creatures. It's like, hey, if you think you getting away, the Most High got something for you. So 23, it's gonna be like something like Final Destination. It's gonna be like Final Death. Death will find you. It is coming for you. There's no escape. So 23. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them. Why we say a mighty? What is a mighty wind? Them tornadoes, them hurricanes. That's the mighty winds. That's what it's dealing with. You got tornadoes and hurricanes. Them things coming too, bringing some strong winds, moving houses, blowing you. Most High, he said, man, wipe all that out. So, and the Most High, he know how to work it with them tornadoes. He all right. Yeah, hit them, and nah, skip that house. That house good. You ain't got to hit that one. Yeah, hit them 3. You tell the angels where to move them. Yeah, hey, y'all go over there and get that whole line right there, but not that house, and not them over there, and y'all throw some stuff over there too. You're gonna be working the whole thing. So, yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Can you imagine? It's like a storm. It's gonna blow you away. Like literally, you getting blown. Like, dang, what happened to Trinity? There she go. She gone. Like, dang, you looking out the window. Dang, people getting blown away. Like, it's like they getting vacuumed. Like, they all getting, they gone by. You like, man. So it says, and listen to this, thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth. So it's the fact of the matter is judgment. Reap what you sow. It's because the world has been more in a place of iniquity that this is everything that's going to rain down upon the earth. So now, and it says, thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Because you got so many people in rulership, ruling, but yet and still doing wickedly. And rulership ain't just, who's the king, who's the president, but all them offices below that. So all the governors, the governors and mayors and council members, those are all part of the rulers too. They're all in subordinate positions of authority in governing and rulership. So they're part of the equation as well. So that's what it means. So when dealing with shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. So all those mighty, they're in positions of authority or power. So chapter 6 and verse 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. So, and that's twofold. It's dealing with both, as we were dealing with in chapter 5, that judgment and dealing with the wicked, them being overthrown. This is part of like, hey, y'all better listen up, But the focus, even within that, when it's dealing with you king, is also dealing with the children, the people of the children of Israel, and them being also the kings and queens of the earth. So you'll see both of those things and how those things are mentioned. I will say, hear therefore, O kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. So the judges it lets you know, in Job that the judges are the people of the children of Israel. They are the judges. They are the ones set up to judge the earth. But they're supposed to be moving in righteousness so they can righteously judge the earth. But at the same time, the current kings and judges are those of the other nations, currently. 2, give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations, which is the same thing. He wants those that are in a place of ruling over the people, and happy to have nations and call ourselves, identify, we the people of this, and we got our flags and banners and things of that nature, but you better pay attention, because your rulership about to come to an end. You're about to be destroyed. You got to change. You got to repent. So it's dealing with both contextually. 3, for power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. So, because that applies to both. So that applies to the whole earth. Everything. The Most High is going to search out everybody's counsel. So, and what it is that they've been doing. So, and how they've been moving. But the focus is always going to be unto his people first. You know, that they got to be judged for everything it is that they're doing or not doing accordingly. Verse 4, because being ministers of his kingdom, so minister is a servant. You know, when it's saying that, it's being servants of his kingdom. You have not judged aright. You haven't, the decisions you've been making have not been, you know, righteous ones. So, and it's just like we've been reading, a lot of this is the righteous versus the wicked. That's what you're dealing with. You have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of God. So that's really why everyone's getting judged. It's based upon the law, statutes, and commandments, and how well those things have or have not been kept. 5, horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. So that's it, man. This is horribly and speed. Why horribly? Because you're getting hit with all types of calamities that are horrible, that are bad, you know, that are bad. Like, man, and some the next thing be worse than the last. So getting hit with you can only imagine. It's only through some of these movies with all this apocalyptic chaos coming in, and what type of fear and dread that can put on your spirit. Like, man, because what can you do? It's outside of your power. So many different. Even I'd rather it be a wasp thing or a hornet's nest coming after me than some of them things, because a hornet, I could run inside and close the door. Shoot, even with a wasp, I get a fly swatter, run and get some raid, and hey, you only gonna last a few seconds with this. Like, I can fight, I can have a fighting chance. You feel I can have a fighting chance. Even though I'm scared, I can fight, and I get more y'all than y'all gonna get me. So you can do that. What can you do in a tornado? What can you do? What can you do, man? Like, what can you do with meteorites coming down and hitting the ground and hitting people? What can you do? Meteorite, they can go through walls, they can go through windows and things. Like, that ain't stopping them. Same thing, you could run inside, that ain't stopping a tornado. Tornado take your whole house up. Like, man, you're at God's mercy. But what can you do if God's the one that ain't got no mercy on you right now? That's a scary place to be in. I don't want to be in that space. Because we think immediately, God, please, and God is like, no, hell no. Like, that's a scary place. And man, that's a scary place. Like, you gotta, man, that's a place I pray I'm never in. I never want to be in that space where I want to be able to call on God, and God is like, how can I help you? Nah, that's a good one of mine. That, like, how can I, help him, send an angel, help that man, you know, work in this situation, help him out. Not like a situation, oh, look at him, he's trying to call on me. Man, rain some hellfire in his life. Like, man, this is a scary place to be in. 23, yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Like, that's scary. But let's continue down. Wisdom Psalm chapter 6, verse 5, where we left off. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high place. Like, sharp, like, man, I'm getting straight and to the point.
That's what he means, straight and to the point. I'm not playing games. Ain't no like, oh well, God, well, let's think about, look, no. Straight and to the point. I'm hitting you. I'm hitting you again and again and again. So now, verse 6. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. So now what's that? He's giving both sides. He said, man, mercy shall soon pardon the meaning. Meaning what? Like those that have repented, you have space to repent for those, like, man, that you did some dastardly sins. You committed some atrocious things. Most are like, man, I can forgive you if you sincerely turn away and repent. Yeah, you may have used to have been a thief, murderer, man, you name it, whatever it is. I can sincerely forgive you if you sincerely change. But stop, don't play with me. Because at the end of the day, the flip side of it is, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. That means all of those things. You mighty because you want to be strong in them sins. You mighty to murder. You mighty to rape, rob, steal, or kill. Like everything. Like, man, Most High, like, I got something special for you. I got something special waiting. So you don't want that. He said mightily. First off, I wouldn't even want God to say you're gonna be tormented. Like you're gonna be because torment is you torturing, like you suffering greatly. But he said mightily tormented. That means it's gonna be heavy. It ain't gonna be just something light and small. It's heavy. Heavy. So heavy. So man, you get so heavy. Like, man, like, because you gotta read this and you gotta think about it as you read it. You can't just, all right, man, they'll be mighty tormented. Like, nah, you gotta think like I said, like a bee sting. Okay, a bee stung me. Like, nah, you got hot. All right, you remember Job and like the bad things that was befalling one after next, but it's like that is nothing compared to what's gonna happen to the wicked. Like, you ever see like the movie they show like the extras, like all of a sudden it, like a vase fall on their head and it's like, oh, like I'm ditzy, a vase just fell on my head. But then like cartoon, then an anvil fall and then a piano fall on them. Then they do something extra, like then a train fall, then an airplane fall on them. Like they keep doing it bigger and bigger, like to the point like, golly, that's how it's gonna be though. You're gonna see one thing after the next that you just getting hit again and again, and ain't no let up. That's a place I don't want to be in. 7. For he which is Lord over all, because you got to understand, the Most High God is God over everything. Okay, he God over everything. The sun, the moon, the star, the whole earth, all people. He is God. He is the power. Like regardless of how anyone feels about him, he is in a space where, as we see, it's a situation where he's in a space, like he's saying, for he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person. God ain't scared of certain people like some of y'all might be scared of certain people. He ain't in a place like, oh snap, let me watch out because if I get Trina mad, you know how she start turning up. I gotta watch it around her, and shoot, you know how Davon be like, man, he a killer. He been taking people out. Like, I don't mess with him too much, man. I gotta catch him slipping maybe at night. God ain't like that. Like, that don't mean nothing to me. Like, that has nothing to do in terms of what can stop anything. Like I say, your hand's too short to box with me. So, them firearms ain't gonna reach me. So, it says, reading on, verse 7, for he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. Like, God ain't in a place where, with judgment, he over here looking at people as celebrity singers out. He ain't in a place like, oh, come on, don't you know that's Will? Come on, how you gonna do that? Hey, don't you know that's Shakira? Oh, come on. we be in a place where with various artists, celebrities, or things of that nature, we be in awe of their greatness. We be in a space where let a celebrity of some sort, singer, artist, actor, actress, let them walk through the doors of your congregation. People, hey, how can I have? Guess who's here? You'd never believe it. You want some water? Get them some juice. Here, we got you a Bible. Have a seat. A lot of people like respect their man. Most High, like, nah. Because in judgment, it ain't no respect of persons. It don't matter if you are the homeless person off the street or you're a multi-millionaire, you a CEO of a big company, it don't matter. The judgment's still going to be the same for either or. It ain't a change of judgment because of your status. Your status don't change your judgment. It don't work that way. Same with the Most High. Your status, like, hey, that don't matter to me. That's what y'all care about. Y'all care about that status. I don't give a dang who. Will who? Johnny who? Vin who? Kendrick who? Most High, like, who? The righteous I hear. The righteous is who I know. Oh yeah, they right. Okay, that's who matter to me. Most High, he ain't feeling everybody. So, like it says, verse 7, and dealing with that, for he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. Why? For he hath made the small and great, and careth for all alike. That's crazy, because remember, Most High God, he made the small and the great. He said, I made both. So whether you're dealing with your top celebrity or artist, or you dealing with just the homeless person down the street you see all the time and don't even blink at, he said, I made both. It's all my creation. So, and guess what? As it says, and careth for all alike. He cares for all alike. Meaning what? Like the scriptures say, hey, I make my sun to shine on the just and the unjust. So, hey, I send rain he sends rain on the good and the evil. So, he cares for all. But, like it says, listen to 8, because people say, oh, well, that means he loved the righteous and the wicked. Nah, that's why he says in verse 8, but a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. He said, hold on, don't get it twisted. It's because some people read that and they run with it. He said, don't get it twisted. Yeah, I care for all alike, but nah, judgment still judgment. So I'm just letting you know in terms of ain't no respecter of persons, or, he said, I ain't a man or woman or child that I start acting funny with different people, because man will do that. They'll act funny with different people. God, he ain't doing that. So he said, but a sore trial, verse 8, shall come upon the mighty. So they going to have, sore judgments. 9, unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that you may learn wisdom and not fall away. See, the key in this is really focusing on the people, the children of Israel. That's who he's focusing on. So that we may learn wisdom. Seeing all these things that happen, it's like you got to meditate on this, because, again, he's going back, keep things in perspective. He's saying, like, look, all this stuff going to happen. This is why I'm trying to warn you. This is why I'm trying to get you right. He says, so unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that look, with all these things considered, this is why I'm trying to warn you, that you may learn wisdom and not fall away, that you can really understand these laws, statutes, commandments, and not be in a place where you fall away into wickedness. You, as they say, fall out of the truth. You're not in the truth no more. So you're not trying to be righteous no more. He said, look, I'm not trying to have that. That can't be the case. So, verse 10, for they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy. That's the thing. So now it says, when dealing with that, for they that keep holiness holily, meaning what? You can't be lukewarm. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. A lot of people like to do that because they want some of the world, but they kind of want to, well, I want the truth there because I know I got to make it a salvation, but I like some of these pretty things here. He said, nah, you can't partially keep holiness. You want to be holy on Fridays and Saturdays, and then be unholy on Sundays and Tuesdays. It don't work that way. You got to stay holy, be holy, get holy, and keep it all the time, continuously. That's what he's dealing with. So, and then if you do that and you maintain that in a good track record, all right, then you'll be judged holy. You'll be judged righteous. That's what it's saying. So, for they that learn righteousness and they keep it holistically and maintain it, you'll be judged righteous and righteously. Now the next part, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. And if you've studied those things, not a problem. You'll know how to direct your life. Even when judgment day comes, you'll know how to give answer to the Most High concerning what it is you have and have not done. But it's just in life, period. 11. Wherefore, set your affection upon my words. Now, it's key that he said that. Why would he say, set your affection upon my words? Why would he use that? He could have used anything. Why would he say, set my affection? Let's get the definition of that. Man, what is? Okay. All right, let's get affection. All right, definition of affection using dictionary.com. And it reads, fond attachment. Most High wants you to have a fond attachment to his word. Everybody ain't trying to be attached to his word. A lot of people trying to detach, and they want to hook in and hook out selectively when it's convenient. So devotion. A lot of people don't want to be devoted. I'm locked in. I'm here. If I gotta hear, I gotta hit again. It's boom, 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 boom. I'm here. Or love. I gotta love his word. I have to love it. Like I love other things. Like I love whatever you like watching. Grey's Anatomy, Basketball Wives, Atlanta, whatever it is, your love and hip hop or Power, whatever it is you like watching, your animes. It's you gotta love the Most High and his word like you do that. Okay? That's the type of love you have to have for the Most High God and his word. Like it says, also affections, emotion, feeling, sentiment, the emotional realm of love. You got to have that too. Like, you have to actually have that sincerity in your mind. Like, man, I enjoy reading the word of God. I enjoy dissecting. I enjoy hearing it. It's refreshing to my spirit. You got to have that. So if you don't have that, you have to apply yourself and slowly allow that to grow within you. So, but a big part of it is your mindset. That's why I said, for set your affection upon my words. You have to change your mindset to begin to shift to prioritize more of the word of God and focus on that. So, desire them and ye shall be instructed. Desire those things and you're going to grow. You're going to learn. You're going to slowly see yourself be better and do better if you apply yourself in your mind. So, verse 11. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious, and never fadeth away. So now, I say wisdom is glorious, because understanding the end of it is, if you maintain the wisdom of the scriptures, you're going to receive that everlasting life and kingdom, and that is that glory. It's there and it's never gonna fade. So that's the end goal. That's what we're working towards. But then even aside from that, you understand wisdom, of course, because people just think, all right, well, you get older and I can start to forget or things of that nature. That doesn't change wisdom at its core. That changes just in terms of what you may or may not be able to remember on a personal level, but wisdom applies to every scenario. It's multifaceted. There's wisdom you look at in everything. Some may refer to wisdom more as knowledge. Some may refer to wisdom more as technique or strategy. Some may refer to wisdom more advice and count. It carries over into everything. So that you would think to do. There's some level of wisdom involved. So that it's never gonna fade. It's always gonna be something that's viable and useful. Like another way to look at it is, when you're looking at like a car depreciates, it loses value. Wisdom is never gonna depreciate. Wisdom is never going to lose value. It's always going to have value. Now, whether or not an individual sees value in it is another story, but it still has value. No different than some people, they like gold. Some people like diamonds, But regardless of if you care for it or not, it still has value. It still has intrinsic value. It always has had value. It's one of those things, it has value. So, but now it's one of those things we're understanding where wisdom is even more valuable than all of those things. So it's still going to have value. So yea, she is easily seen of them that love her and found of such as seek her. So wisdom can be seen by those that love wisdom. So, and can be found by those that are sincerely trying to seek out wisdom. So, and again, most of that wisdom is rooted and founded in righteousness. Righteousness is what it's really dealing with. So you have some that they can't identify wisdom because they're not seeking it out or they don't care for it. Now, verse 13, she preventeth them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them. Why does it say she prevented them that desire her? Like she holding them back from trying to get to her? Nah. What it's dealing with is when it says she prevent, because let's get the definition of prevent. And let's see if one of these. Okay. Prevent. To keep from occurring, avert, hinder. To hinder or stop from doing something. So when you're dealing with that, and it also has to anticipate, to proceed, to act ahead of, or forestall. So now, the key thing that wisdom prevents you from is from committing sin or moving foolishly. That's the key thing, that wisdom is going to stop you from doing something foolish. Wisdom is going to stop you from doing some wickedness, some nonsense. So wisdom is there to help guide you on that if you take the moment to utilize it, you'll see, oh snap, I had to apply some wisdom. All praises, it kept me out of that situation. So 15, verse 13. So she prevented them that desire her, or she stops them from making dumb decisions that desire her, and making herself first known unto them. So by bringing those thoughts to memory. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail. If you learn wisdom earlier in life, you're not going to struggle as much later. You're not going to have as much problems if you learn earlier on versus later. If you actually learn and study this word and apply it, it'll keep you out of a lot of situations, out of a lot of harm, and keep you away from a lot of pitfalls. And it's like, man, I dodged a gang of bullets by switching over to righteousness. Like, man, it's better than any car insurance you can have. So it'll save you from a lot of mess if you truly read it and apply it. Not just read it like, all right, I read that, and you just go out and do whatever for it. And it don't work that way. Like, nah, I got to read it. See, oh, snap. Before me, the type of situation I read about, I can't go in that direction. I need to go this way. Now is that deciding factor when you go left or right. All right, let's go left. Oh, I didn't feel like, oh, dang, I didn't apply that wisdom. All right, let me recover. Let me make sure I go right. Yeah, because the scripture said I should go right. Let me go that way. So that's what you got to keep in mind. You got to apply it. So 14, whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. Meaning what? Wisdom is a spirit that wants to dwell within your temple, but it can't if you're adverse to wisdom, if you're not trying to move in wisdom, it can't have any place in you. And you definitely won't be filled with the spirit of wisdom. Some people, they just operating off a few drops. And them drops they use conveniently, and a lot of time to validate the rest of the foolishness they be on and they want to do. So stuff that is for other people that be on the same foolishness, man, they speaking truth. Man, they real. But nah, they as fake as it can get. They just giving you the hype. So now, verse 15. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom. To think, to meditate upon righteousness is like, man, that's where you're becoming into the perfection of what it means to be wise. So it'll explain even more. And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. If you're in a place where you're watching, meaning you're trying to pay attention and perceive when I should apply these things. So you're going to be in a place where you'll be without stress, meaning what? You'll have less stress in your life. If you're paying attention, watching, you paying attention onto, okay, I need to apply this in this situation. Okay, cool. I applied this, and it kept me away from these other things I could have had to deal with if I had not used wisdom. So now, let's continue verse 16. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her. So let you know, everyone does not have wisdom. Same like with common sense. Even though they call it common sense, as if everybody should have it, common sense is not common. So common sense can be rare, depending on where you are at. So, for you goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. Why? Because righteousness and the wisdom through righteousness should be in play. Regarding every decision that you make, it should be filtered through righteousness. It should be filtered through the law. It should be there every thought, like, dang, whatever it is you dwelling about, like, dang, should I do this? Oh man, the script say this, or I remember, man, Sirach say this, or man, I remember Psalms, it said this, or Job said this. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Nah, it'd be better if I do this. So you're thinking like that. You start to condition your mind to think of righteousness whenever you decide to make a decision. So, verse 17, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. This is the very, very true beginning of obtaining wisdom, is the desire of discipline. So the desire, when you look at discipline, what is discipline? Discipline. Let's get discipline. Training to act in accordance with rules. That's a big part of it. I'm putting myself in a place. I'm training my mind and my spirit to begin to do what it is that God set up to do or not to do. Those are the rules. I'm training myself to do that. That's the beginning, and that desire, like, or in short, maybe I want to please God. I want to do what God wants me to do. That's the beginning. Okay, you want to start doing what God wants you to do. You don't want to do your own program. Okay, cool. I can work with you. That's the beginning. When you finally have that mindset, when, like, man, if it's what God wants, that's what I want. If it make God happy, that's what make me happy. Pleasing God, man, and it's pleasing to me. That's the true beginning. So, verse 17, for the very true beginning of her, the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. And that care of making sure you maintain that's love. That's the love that God is looking for you to have. Like, man, I just want to please God. I want to make God happy. Like, that's the love. So, 18, And look, and love is the keeping of her laws. That's it. Keeping of the law. That's it. You're getting there. You got it. And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. People want to say, like, man, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it to the kingdom? Hey, you're going to know based upon this. Like I said, you want to have assurance. Like I said, are you giving heed unto her laws? You giving heed unto the law? That's your assurance right there. If you doing and applying, that's your assurance. All right, I got it. That's why another place said, like, man, let no man take thy crown. Don't let nobody take your crown. You got the crown. You just got to hold on to it. If you applying righteousness, you got the crown. So you got it. You got the keys to the kingdom. Just don't lose them. You know, you got the key. You put it down somewhere. You walk around like, man, I don't know where that key was. It was right here. Man, it was right here. I don't know where it didn't went. Like, man, hold on to it. You got to hold on. Make sure, man, I can't lose this. Nah, I'm holding on tight. Hey, can I, bro? Nah, you can't hold this key. Sorry, bro. I gotta hold on to this one. I can't lose this. That's it. You got to hold on to it and make sure, like, man, you hold on to it, making sure you holding on to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You applying it. You double checking. You fact checking. Am I keeping this the way it says it should be kept? That's another part. Am I applying it the way it says it needs to be applied? Sometimes I may say, dang, I wasn't applying that the way I needed to. All right, I got to tighten up. I got to do a little better here. Then, all right, you make them adjustments. You make them changes. You're gonna make changes in the wall. You're gonna make change. Year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're gonna, because you're growing, you're learning. And sometimes the way you may have first started doing something wasn't as right. Oh, I got to do it this way now. And the other times you got to make sure you stay doing it right. Other times I got too laxed on this. I need to tighten back up. So it's a process. So now, as it says, verse 18, in love of the keeping of her laws and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. Because if you corrupt, you ain't going to make it. But if you keeping the law, that's your assurance that you are going to make it, that I'm incorrupt. I'm not in a place of corruption. I'm at a place where I'm good. So that's your assurance. All right, I'm keeping the laws. So that should stay with you. That's your reminder to be assured that, okay, I got this. I'm on the right path to make it to the kingdom of heaven. So good. Then stay on that path. Good. Stay on that path. 19. And incorruption maketh us near unto God. People want to say, this is 18 and 19. People say, how do I get closer to God? How do I know if I'm close to God yet? 18 and 19. I say, incorruption maketh us near unto God. You fall back. Well, how do I become incorrupt if I was corrupt? Well, like it says, you got to give heed unto her laws. You know, that's what you got to do. That's how you'll become incorrupt. And that's how, through that incorruption, is how you become near to God. That's it. That's how it's just that simple. So 19 got the answer. Someone say, how do I get close to God? How do I get closer to God? Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 19. And incorruption maketh us near unto God. Be incorrupt. How do I be incorrupt? Verse 18, in love of the keeping of her laws. In the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. That's how you're going to know you're not corrupt. That's it. And then the two verses you need. Keep in mind and pass on to the next person, because that's a common question that people ask. You know, how do I know I'm in the truth? How do I know I'm in the faith? You know, that's how you know. How do I know I'm right with God? How do I know I'm making it to the kingdom of heaven? That's how you'll know. That's how you'll know. So that's why I said the just shall live by faith, because that's it. That's living by faith right there. That's the evidence and proof that you need to know I'm in the right place, or I'm not. If I'm not taking heed to his laws, then guess what? That means I'm not incorruptible. That means there's some corruption there. That your spirit got a virus on it right now. You got to purge that out. You better get some McAfee Bitdefender and purge your system of that virus so you good. So and then, all right, you ain't corrupt no more. Them files ain't bad no more. You clean them up, or them got deleted. So verse 20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom, keeping all this in mind, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. That's it. You want to know how to get the kingdom? Desire wisdom. And you read that within these last like 6-7 scriptures. 6-7 verses. So you read that. So it's all, how do I get to the kingdom? You just read the whole process. The whole process we just went over. That's how you get to the kingdom. Don't let nobody tell you different. So ain't no other way. Ain't me humming, yum yum kingdom. They ain't gonna get it that way. They don't get it through some chakra readings or some stones or rub my belly or whatever kundalini. You ain't getting no other way. This is the way. Walk ye in it. 21. If your delight be, that's the thing. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, because he said if your delight be in thrones and scepters, you want rulership and or power or authority or handmaids or servants or whatever you want in that regard, whatever your fancy. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. That's the key. So honor wisdom that you may reign forever. If that be what your desire, what you fancy, you should be in a place where your focus is wisdom in order to get there. Okay? There's a path laid out. Most already laid it out. This is the way how to get to what it is that you want. If you go any other way, you're going to mess yourself up. Go this way. This is how you get there. All right, and I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna set out people that I approve, that I use these spirits to help guide you along your way to make sure they help guide you to get there. Okay, but you got to choose the right ones. Don't choose them bad ones, because I put bad ones out there too, so that you may see the difference between good and evil, and choose up. So, but with that, we'll pick things back up most I will next time at Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6. In verse 22. So with that, Brother Yatab, Bishop of Sound Faith Ministries, and with that I say shalom.